'Cause every time we try to break it down and build again, yeah, every time we try to make up for something lost, you know, we're never letting go. This time we can reach the sky on a prayer, we go higher than high. Yeah, wide awake, it's a big mistake, 'cause it's something we can deny. But with a love like this, we'll never fall. All of a sudden you'll
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Hollis-tics, and I am your host, Hollis-tics. It is an exciting night here on the show. I am so happy. I've been talking about this guest for quite a while now, and she's here. She's backstage, and you're going to see her in a couple minutes here. We're bringing her live on the stage. We are broadcasting here now on YouTube, on Facebook. Oh, Facebook. I am still locked out of my Facebook. I'm trying to add everyone back. Facebook sucks. Sorry, guys. I mean, if you guys have not had this problem ever happen to you, I hope it never does. And what's the saddest part about it? I saw you started your account in 2005. So this account is 21 years old. Oh my gosh. I started it in college. Long story short, I signed up with a college email, an old phone number. And just the other day, they decided I needed, out of the blue, needed 2A security that I never asked for. And it's been a loop and a circle, and I can't get into it no matter what I do. I have people saying, you should do this and try this. So I'm going to still keep trying, guys. But in the meantime, I did set up another Facebook page. So I'm growing my friends. But of course, Facebook says, oh, you could only add like 10 a day and this spam and you know. So there we go. We're kind of starting over on Facebook again, but we are broadcasting on YouTube, on the Rumble, of course, on Twitter, or I should say X, and Voice of the People USA Radio and Television Network. So you're going to be able to find us everywhere. And like I said, it's a very exciting night tonight. I can't believe it's Thursday, May 7th already. We are in May. It's a nice sunny day out there today. So we're getting there, right? Spring renewal, spring awakening. Is it finally here? Is it finally here, guys? I hope it's coming soon because I got a new bathing suit from the TikTok shop and I can't wait to wear it. So with that said, now this is a very special episode, and I have the book right here. I have an author, and she's beautiful, and she's down in the backstage. She's in the green room right now waiting for me to stop talking. But no, she's awesome. She's here on time. What a wonderful guest. Very punctual, and she was sharing it on her Facebook as well. So I always appreciate that. Thank you, guys. We all have to do our part. I'm a one-woman team. I mean, I have help with Dan, of course, but it is hard to do everything yourself. So the more you guys see this and share it, thank you. Share. Hollis's Facebook is hardly existent now, but we're going to grow it. We're going to get it back. So getting into this, I've been dying to read the book, and I opened it a couple weeks ago, and then life happened, and I was not in a good place. And I was like, you know what? Yesterday, finally, I got to sit down, and I started it, and I finished it, and it was awesome. It was emotional. One part even made me like teary-eyed, and it's truth. So it's a very impactful, powerful book, and I'm very excited that Jess decided to join us. A little bit about just how we met. It was one of those fate, right? Destiny. It was one of those where I wish I had just met her a little bit earlier. I was moving out of my apartment in Clifford, and I was moving to Maine. And guess this lovely little angelic being comes, and she bought, I think it was a dresser, it was a dresser, right? And we crossed paths, and I knew right away she was special. You know, you just meet people, and you're like, oh, you know, this wise little like soul, this old soul. And like, she was just so awesome. But luckily we exchanged Facebook, and I'm glad we exchanged numbers too, because now that I can't get into my Facebook, but we've been in touch. But this is the first time I've actually seen her since then. Can you imagine? And so I wanted to play a song real quick, because what we're going to get into tonight, and I'm going to stop talking and let her explain more, but it's a lot about self-love, bad relationships, toxic relationships. Trust me, I've been through many, and a lot of answers of some things that I've been through in this book and why, and making sense of it. But what I'm going to set the tone, I'm going to play a song from my new album. I've never played it for anyone before, and I wrote it during many of my bad toxic relationships, and it's literally the thing, like, as soon as I started reading this book, that song was coming in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe I'll play it on the show. And hey, it's my show. I could do whatever I want, I guess. And I got to promote my music. So I'm going to play that song, and then we're going to bring Jess up on to the screen, and we're going to get into her book and everything. And no need to be nervous here, because sometimes I get nervous because I'm like, oh, I should, whatever. But then I'm like, wait a minute, it's my show. I don't need to be nervous. there's a lot of people watching, but we're having fun, and we'll get into the chat room too. See if anybody has any questions. So it's going to be a great night here on Hollistics. Okay, so let me go into my and just in case, hold on, because I put a lot of work into all this. There's the book. It's coming. It's coming, and there she is. And now you're going to see her just in a couple minutes after the debut of Sweet Poison Love. Now I threw up a picture behind the song. So I don't have any lyric videos yet or any videos for this. This is actually the song. I put a picture just to the song, and this was from my new photo shoot, and you're going to see. So it's just a still picture, but listen to the song Sweet Poison Love, and I could go on and on about it, but I won't, because this is not my night. This is Jess's night. And it's very important we talk to her sooner than later. So here we go. Here's Hollis. This is my debut. This is Sweet Poison Love. And then we're going to get into it. So enjoy. Here we go.
Circles in
rid of it. There it is. Okay, good. So there you go. There was the debut there. That was my feeling. I wrote that when I was in London. Okay, so now it's the big moment. I'm getting my round of applause ready here. And a big in the chat room, we have a couple people here. Sam McFadden says, I'm mopping the floor one-handed so I can watch this. Awesome. Well, I'm welcome. I'm glad you're here. And Kirk Cornish says, lyrics for the song being played. Excited. Not lyrics yet. Like I said, I was a last minute idea. I said, you know what? I'll throw it up there, but lyrics to come soon. But you get the idea. I'm definitely dying from that sweet poison love. We're going to get into all that right now. So let me get my applause ready. Then we're going to bring up Jessica. You ready? She's ready. Okay, good. Here we go. Got to get my applause. I got my applause. Okay, here we go. Welcome to the show. The author of Piece by Piece, Miss Jessica. There she is. Yay, hold on.
Hi.
Oh, my applause is supposed to go. Come on. Oh, it's pause. Applause. Come on. Okay, well, here, I'll give you applause. Hear it? Okay. Hey, girl. Welcome. Welcome to Hollis-tics. How are you doing? You look
Good.
beautiful.
Thank
I
you.
love your jacket. Very cute. Very beautiful.
I felt like the pink for the feminine energy was the way to go.
There you go. And I like your pendant too. Is that the tree of life there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like obsidian, so it like calms you and wrapped in copper.
Oh, good. Yeah. I used to have one like that. It's good.
Mhm.
And some certain ones protect you. Is it like the
Yeah,
tourmaline or something? Black.
yeah, an obsidian.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
The power of that stuff. I
Yeah.
believe in that. Let's see our comments real quick. Okay, MAGA Institute's in the house. Hello, Timothy. And some new names. Maybe you know some of these people.
Probably.
Light Gwynny says, woohoo! Yay, well, welcome. All right. I don't want to miss anybody, but yes, I've been looking forward to this. I've been telling everyone you're coming on the show. And I have your book right here. You are a
Mm,
published author.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So we're gonna get right into it, right? And you gonna tell me a little bit about tell me the inspiration behind the book and what inspired you to write it and how did it all come to be?
So I always knew I wanted to write a book since like I was little. I would write books all the time. But then being an adult, I was like, I have so much to write a book about now from all the experiences in my life. And I wrote a couple, but they didn't like hit the way that this one did. And it just I don't know, it just came to me one night. I was laying in bed and I just was replaying my entire life and everything that happened and the cycles that I put myself through and why. And I really saw the bigger picture and I saw how one small act of self-love kind of snowballed my entire healing journey to become like who I am today. And I was like, that's what I need to write a book about.
Yeah. And did the piece by piece, did that come to you and you were like, I'm gonna write everything around it, or or as you were doing
So,
piece by
Piece by Piece is actually my nonprofit that is centered around helping women who are going through domestic violence. So I felt like naming the book that and then putting the nonprofit in the book and kind of
Okay.
explaining like this is why Piece by Piece came to be and then becoming someone I didn't want to run from. That was huge.
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
the foundation came first, piece by piece,
Yeah.
and then you decided to name the book, which makes sense after that. And it's a
Yeah.
great title because as I was reading the book, it makes so much sense, and it does because I think with self love and everything, I think we know the versions of ourselves. We always want to be something. Oh, why am I doing this? Why am I going back to these patterns of oh? But
Mhm.
I know for me personally, it's like you think you look at an Instagram where I want to be like that. And I want to, and you like look at this like version that's like not you at all. And like, yeah. And you're like, oh, you go from like one extreme to the other. But you're saying in your book, it's just these little things that are more manageable, like literally small things that
Yeah.
each day you become the version. I underlined some things that I love, like things I put on a little like, like I don't know. I have to say, it was just, what was the one part? It was just like becoming, well, we're going to get into it. I'm all over because I'm excited. I'm excited. But let's talk about, well, a lot of it, obviously will come from relationships because relationship is the biggest teachers in our life, right? I think. And it's all about why do we, and I could talk from personal experience. I've had so many bad relationships and reading your book, it's starting to make sense that it's like when you said it's a pattern that you start to recognize that your nervous system and your mind is just because you look at women and men too, probably, that you're like, wow, I attracted the same thing again. Oh, then the next, oh, I'm getting out of that. I'm never going to go to tolerate that again. And then you get another one. And the
Mhm.
whole part of you saying in the book, it's not, it's enticing or it's, you get addicted to that, the suffering or,
Yeah.
so if you want to talk about that part a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, for a long time, I mean, years, it felt like forever. I kept putting myself into these same situations
Yeah.
and situations that deep down I knew were not safe with people I knew weren't safe. But I had that feeling that drew me there. And I was like, this is magnetic. Like, maybe it's different this time. This is meant to be. Like, why would I feel this way? And I had to do it like at least 10 times before I was finally like, I don't need to find out anymore. I'm good. I'm going to run the other way. But I feel like some people never get to that point, and it's so scary because some people never even get out.
Yeah. I have to just say that puppy is so freaking cute. Is that a girl or a boy?
He's the boy.
And you just got him, right?
Yeah, he's the puppy
Mhm.
that I didn't ask for.
Oh, what's his name?
Rocky.
Oh, Rocky. I love that. I love that name too. Did you name him or was he already named Rocky?
Oh, I had to name him.
You
His
named
mom's
him?
Roxy, so he became Rocky.
Oh. And you have another dog. Do you have another one too?
Yes, his mother, she's black.
And that's Roxette or what is that? Roxy?
Roxy, yeah,
Roxy and Rocky you have now.
yeah.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, it's so cute. Oh my god. I
So
had to
good for my
acknowledge the
nervous
puppy.
system.
Aw. Well, oh yeah. No, but and that's the thing that amazed me about you, Jess, is that even when I met you first, I mean, you're so young to come to such a conclusion and to have such self-awareness. Like you said, some people never ever even realize it or they're in so deep that it's like they just will never get out of it. And oh, I was gonna say something else too. I wanted to ask you. Um, oh, it's just like in relationships, there's a lot. Obviously, I feel like when you're in an abusive relationship, physically abusive, a lot of people know like easier, like that's wrong. Like totally wrong. Like people know you got to get out of that it's physically. But then when it's mental and you don't really realize that the manipulation and that's I'm not saying one is worse. They're both equally they're bad. I mean, I guess physical is but my point is it's so obvious. Like physical is like
Mm,
get away from it. But there's people who stay in these relationships for years that are actually mentally abusive and manipulative and you don't really realize it maybe
you
right
don't.
until you're
um,
out
I
of it
think
or never realize it. Like this is
that's
not love.
what's so scary. Like it happens slowly over time. So I found that like you will get stuck if you go towards that magnetic feeling and you're like, maybe it's different this
Yeah.
time. It's not going to be, and you're going to get stuck if you even entertain the idea of being with somebody like that. Because it also gets confusing when you start healing and you start thinking about what a healthy relationship is supposed to be like because nobody's perfect. So
Mhm.
it's like, okay, well, they called me a whore, but then they brought flowers home and they explained that it wasn't me, that it was them, and they were really sincere about it. But then it happens again, and then the flowers, and then, over and over until your sense of self-worth is so diminished that you don't feel like you deserve any better and that this that you have is
Right.
all are gonna ever be worth.
Right.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah. Like it's starting because it after so long, it becomes like this, it's just a pattern and this is acceptable. This is how and even for me, sometimes you would be like other relationships, you would look at other people's relationships and be like, oh, that's not normal that he doesn't do that to you. You doesn't say that to you, or you know what I mean? And you're like, oh, maybe it's
Yeah.
it's not so good. Like, what was I gonna say? But you get to the point where, oh, in your book, and you mentioned that about the feeling of butterflies, like, oh, like
Mm,
you're wise enough to say, oh, those butterflies is actually, people get addicted to this feeling and it's not love, right? That it's like, I just watched a video today. It's too bad I don't have it. Maybe I could pull it up about what real love is. It's not, it's actually, it's how your body feels. And you say this in your book about, and I should bring it up here piece by piece. You say it in your book that that you're addicted to the pain and or that feeling of adrenaline, that's just surface stuff. It's there in the beginning. And then a healthy relationship, because you're not used to it, is boring kind
Yeah.
of right in the beginning. It could be, because you're more for this excitement, like, oh, that's true love. And those are always the ones that go fast. I mean, they don't work. Not always, I guess, but for me anyway. Probably for you too. You talk. You let me know.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. So you get addicted. Like there's been so many studies that have been done about the actual like brain chemistry, what happens when it's the give and take. So like they give you love and then they pull it away. So then it's like a high when they give you the love again and you're holding on to that. And it's like getting addicted to a drug, being in a
Yes.
relationship with these kind of people. And so, I mean, getting off of a drug is super hard. And when it's somebody that you believe that you love, I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And healing from that is even crazier.
Yeah. And I know in your book you mention, um, you're always, then you leave, and that feeling when you finally had the courage to go, and you feel that feeling of like empty regret. Oh, and you have to sit with that, and you're like, it's an unfamiliar feeling. You have to be strong enough to sit with yourself and cope with that. And what does that mean? Right.
And I definitely was not like, my daughter's father, he was the first like man I was ever in a full relationship with, and it moved fast. When we met, I was homeless and he was homeless, and we moved in together like a week after knowing each other, and then it just moved fast, fast, fast. Ended up having a baby like 6 months later. Then getting another apartment away, like an hour away from all my family, which was horrible. Then the isolation started and everything. But I thought that he really just wanted what was best for me, like he was telling me all these people had my worst interest at heart and he really cared about me. And I had no idea because I was freshly 18. I had really no family at the time because I was estranged from them. So all I had was him, and that was like perfect for him.
Right. Right.
But then leaving him, I obviously went back to my family and explained everything, and they took me in and helped me with my daughter. But that was so hard because I'm like, I just lived like I was married to somebody for 3 years. I was a wife, and now I'm just alone and trying to reach back to people that I haven't had contact with for so long. And just going through my mind, like, did I make the right decision? Like, is he right? And he's still blowing up my phone and stalking me and hacking into all my shit. And I'm afraid he's going to like come after me because he was a violent person.
Yeah.
So I turned to drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And then that became my life for the next like
Yeah.
years.
To cope. And you said something interesting, the word codependence. We hear that a lot, like a lot. It's codependent. And I know, looking back at my old relationships and stuff, you become codependent. And the problem is, especially when you said you were both homeless. So you're thinking, okay, we're going to help each other. You literally become dependent on each other. And so many of these situations, I feel, with especially women, men, is that people, money. Like, okay, two of us, we're gonna like you get stuck because of bills. You can't leave because of money. And so a lot of women, and it goes the same way. I'm not just saying women, men or women, but like one has all the money, so they have all the power. So they feel they really can't leave. So it's like codependent is a big one. And sometimes we don't even realize we're codependent. And that, at the end of the day, if you could get out of it, you realize there's a pattern. You could be attached to people being codependent, like you can't live without them. And in both, more than one way, like the house, the bills. And they always say, oh, it should be like, get into a relationship once you're healthy and whole, and then you don't need each other, you want each other. But life doesn't always work that way. This world is really hard to live in, and it's like expensive. I remember when I lived in LA, I mean, you could not live there alone. You could barely live there if you had 4 roommates. So I would always get in these relationships with these bums, and like that you become codependent, right?
Wow.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, that's a lot of my music. But I recognize that pattern, but it wasn't, um, I'm just like thinking now, wow, I haven't thought about it a lot, but it's good. We're bringing up these feelings and stuff
Yeah.
about, but a lot of people go through it. And I don't think, and again, that's why your story is incredible too, that you are so young and that you were able to get out and see, because like you said, not many people, a lot of women never got it, and men too. Like they don't even realize it, and then when it gets to the point where it's something really bad happens, because could go obviously domestic violence and shoot, like could go really bad. Let's see if we
Yeah.
have any questions in the chat room here. Joe says, "Good evening, all. I'm home tonight, preparing my notes for tonight's show." Oh, good, he's watching. Jim says, "Hello, let's go. You're a blessing, Jessica and Hollis. You're supposed to treat people like old school." Okay. How do you deal with, let's see. "He didn't like me," says Sam. Not sure what that one means. Who didn't like you? You're a blessing, Jessica. Your strength has pushed you through anything. There you go. Because it takes a strong person. And and it's even more than strong, but self-aware to be able to look at yourself and say, wait, maybe I'm the problem.
Mhm.
Right? Because you could blame, and a lot of these people they're just jerks, and I don't try not to curse on this show, but they're just assholes. A lot of them, they make you feel like crap, then they manipulate you. After a while, you're like, oh, I'm small. Like you said, you're small, and you're feeling like, oh, you're nothing. And and then some of them are just people that we keep attracting, because at the end of the day, we could keep blaming these jerks, but you have more peace, I feel, when you finally say, hold on, I chose them. Why was I attracted to that? Why did I choose them? What's broken or whatever inside of me that keeps attracting the same person?
Right.
What do you think? Is that similar to what?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. I wanted to say, I have a bunch of little notes in your book. Remind me, I read it. And you guys, make sure you go. If you're interested in the book now, I did put a comment in the chat room. I have the link if you guys want to, and I encourage you to go and get it. Wait, hold on. At the break, I'm going to put the link up again because it's right here. This is her book, in case you guys don't know haven't seen it. Hold on. I'm producing this myself. So I would say, board up, bring it up, please. Bring up her book, please. Picture of her book. There it is. There it is. If you guys want to go get it, here it is. It's on Amazon here, and I will drop a link. There it is. Piece by piece, becoming someone I didn't want to run from. And there she is right there. So make sure you guys, this is a powerful book. And what I also love about it too is the reflection part where it's interactive, where you're like looking, and it made me question like certain things, like, it's a exercise that
Yeah.
helps. And that was smart to do that. Was like, what did you just, because you want to help people?
Yeah, that was really important to me. So I didn't want to just write a book about my experiences and then leave other people with nothing. I wanted
Right.
people to be able to look into their own lives and relate to it and see if they could break these patterns for themselves. Because I feel like there's a lot of self help books out there, but nobody actually writes their story and then gives you the explanation as to why you did what you did, and then
Yeah.
as to where it relates in your life so that
Yeah.
you can be aware and change it in your life.
Right. And how you got through it yourself. And that
Yeah.
was the biggest thing I told her. It's so smart because, like I said earlier, you read these self-help books, a lot of them, and they're already on the other side, and they're like, this happened to me then you could change. But here you're saying it really was something as simple as, like you said, just sitting with yourself and like, okay, going through these feelings, or reflecting or meditating or whatever it was. And yeah, reflection. I'm on a page here. I'm just that truth that you say, self-love is not running back to familiar chaos, right? That's a
Yeah.
big one, because the whole thing about self-love too, it's just, you hear that a lot. Like, you got to love yourself. Like, it's like overdone sometimes, but what does it really mean? What do you
Yeah.
think? What does it mean to you?
It means making the right choices that are going to elevate you in your life.
Yeah.
Be selfish. You're allowed to be
Yes.
selfish, to love yourself. You
Yeah.
can't be worried about what other people are going to do or say or think or whatever, because you're going to be useless to yourself and to everybody that you love if you don't have any self love.
Yeah. And like you said, another thing you said too, and this is a part I really love this. It says, like you just said, don't we care so much sometimes what other people think. And, it was after you left the relationships and stuff, like your identity, you didn't know who you were anymore, right? Because you're always molding to someone else. Or even like you said, you took a break from social media, you're on there. What is this person going to think before I post it? Well, what do I have to call? Well, I'm a singer, like, and it's just like you totally forget who you are, especially if you've been in relationships since so young and you always I'm not saying you, but like people, you bounce to the next one. And those people are never alone with yourself, because a lot of times we don't want to be alone because it's distraction. Oh my gosh, it's hard to be alone. But you said there's a difference between being alone and lonely. If you want to, right?
Yeah.
So what would you say the difference about how you feel now being alone versus that old feeling of like empty and lonely and sad and
Most of the time being alone now is like peaceful. I always needed like background noise or friends over or a full house, to feel okay. And now, like, I crave just being in my bedroom with the lights off by myself for like hours. Like, that is my peace. But being lonely, that's like feeling like you don't have anybody who understands you, you know?
yeah.
And you can be in a room of 100 people and feel lonely.
Yes. Oh my
None of
gosh.
those people are fulfilling.
Yeah. But I think that was what, like, your point was, like, you don't have to be lonely if you start to be know that you're with yourself and you love yourself and you know what I mean? You trust in yourself more, and you're not, like you said, as a feeling alone. And now it's a peaceful feeling. But would
Yeah.
you have ever have thought that you were gonna get to this point when it first started? Were you right?
No, I was like, when is this gonna end?
Yeah.
But I
And
was
you
also like crazy at the same time because I'd been like locked in the house for years and not allowed to talk to anybody, not allowed to see my family, not allowed to do anything. And then here I am away from it and I'm like terrified and I'm sad and I'm going through all these emotions, but I'm also like free. I could do whatever the heck I want now. And I feel like that drove me to a point of insanity. And I
Mm.
went to the bar every night. I found a lady to go with, and I wasn't even 21, but she got me in, and that became like my escape every night. My daughter went to bed, I went to the bar, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, I get to hang out with people and talk to people. I don't have anybody controlling me or what I wear or what I say or what I do. And I became addicted to that. And that was
Mm.
scary.
Right. Well, you're self-aware to know you're always, it's hard. You're always feeling, when I say you, I mean in general, we're feeling that void. Now, void with something external, right? And you could say whatever it might be, whatever it is. It could drinking, what drugs, sex, food, whatever. And and I had that for so long too. And it was really more when I believe more in God and spirituality and connected and said, that emptiness is actually, this is what I believe. It's us missing ourselves. It's like that's the emptiness that it's always underneath. And I would do the same thing. I don't drink alcohol anymore. I've been sober for almost 3 years. So,
Right.
but when I was in these relationships, I mean, you're trying to fulfill, you're trying to numb yourself. I feel right, like so you don't feel. And I think you said that in the book later in the book about um what it feels like, because I remember when I stopped drinking, I had always been going to bars, or even when you just go out, not to get drunk, or you go out like for a dinner, I have to have a drink, and it's almost like when I stopped doing that, you're like, you're vulnerable right now. People, and like you said, I think also in your book, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like certain people just have to go, like they don't fit in your life anymore, and then you feel like really lonely. But then not lonely, but you're kind of like, am I weird? Like everything, you have to change everything. But then you're
Mm,
leaving room for the right people to come in. But you have to be brave enough to have that space for it to happen,
yeah.
right? Is that how kind of you felt like you were going on to the next thing, like you said, alcohol, and what was the final thing when you were just like, no more, like I'm not even going to drink anymore. I'm going to try to.
Oh God, it didn't happen for a while. I mean, I was passing out drunk outside the bar in my car. Like, I remember the one night I woke up, I was still at the bar in my car with puke all over my car and me. I didn't even know what time it was. And that should have been like an eye-opening moment, but it wasn't. I just drove home and I did it
Yeah.
again the next night and for the next like 3 years. And it just got worse. Then I found people to actually party with, and that chaos of that full house, and there always being something going on. And I never got to experience partying, so I was like, yes, like this is my era.
Right, right.
Horrible, because I put myself in some really awful shitty situations
Yeah.
and caused myself a lot more trauma that I wish I didn't you know
Yeah.
But I also learned a lot about myself and life through that whole process. And I met some amazing people who are still in my life today. So I don't regret any
Right.
of it. Um, but I mean, it was a ride. It was a
Yeah. Yeah.
journey.
Yeah. Well, it all leads you to here. And like I said, I feel like, you know, you're so young to come to this like but ever since I met you in the kitchen in Clipper, was it a dresser that you came to get?
Yeah, I
Was it a
think so.
dresser?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a frame, I think.
And a bed frame, yeah.
Mhm.
And, like I said, because of me, I'm a weirdo too. I'm like, I'm always this is what holistic's all about. Wait, am I oh, could you hear that sound effect that goes, "Ah," but, I'm just a big weirdo too, and I like to think this is what holistic's about. I talk about, you know, thinking a lot about self-improvement, self-help, self-awareness, but just more of like questioning like, lessons in life and I like all that stuff, destinies. We get into some conspiracies, not really on this show so much, but all that stuff, but the bigger pictures and really examining yourself, it's weird examining yourself, but you know what I mean? But like there's more to life and learning and looking at because my album's called A Comedy of Errors. That's the one of the songs that I played from it. And I always say that's where all my life came a comedy of errors. Like you look back and you think about these, it's all errors, mistakes, but then you think, are they really mistakes? And we're so hard on ourselves. Or is this part of the life lesson that we've been like you grow from these mistakes? Were they really errors? I mean, if you don't take anything from them and you keep like if 10 years later you're still passing out in the car, you're not gonna you haven't learned your lessons. But like I don't think there's so much errors or mistakes when you do something good with them and you grow and you learn from them,
Mhm.
you know?
Definitely.
So I think that's definitely especially your book here is a product of that. So like you said, now I love this and you weren't planning to write a book, or you said you always wanted to write a book since you were a kid, but, like,
Mhm.
when it first came out, I think I saw your Facebook post, you were so excited, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's in print and it's so nice, and I love it. I'm so glad I
Yeah,
have it."
I
So,
couldn't believe I actually did it.
how did the project were you searching for someone to help you print the books? Were you like, "You know what? I'm gonna do it?"
No, so I mean, it was super easy through Amazon. I just had to make my cover art, and I had to learn how to like format pages. And I love learning new stuff, so that was really cool. But I like drove myself nuts over like getting every little thing right, and then I realized that something was wrong with the book, and I already hit publish, and I was like freaking out for the rest of the night because I had to like unpublish it and then redo it. And I was like, oh my God, like it took such a long time. And I felt like I just wanted it to be done already. And yeah.
Aw. Well, you did a great job. I'm so proud of you. And I love it. Like I said, it's powerful what's in these, and I like that it's lightweight. You can put it in your purse. It's almost like a guide. Like you want to take it with you and remind yourself, and you could do the exercises in the book.
Yeah. It
You
was
know.
really important for me to make it short so that
Hmm.
people could read it quickly, but like everything's to the point. Like you see all the patterns, how I got to where I got, and it's an engaging read too. So like,
It
and
is.
heck, you could read it in a couple hours and you could change your life if you want to.
Yes, that's what I thought too when I first got. It. I'm like, oh, it's kind of small. It's kind of light, but
Mhm.
then in this day and age too, when people have no attention spans, I'm like, it's perfect, because it is because sometimes it's overbearing actually when you get a big book and then you're like less likely to read it. But it's something where you could go back to and like I love your poems. They're also
Mhm.
I love that you have that. And oh sorry, I'm just like looking at little things I underlined. You don't mind if I
I-
like just say a line and
No, you
when
could.
um, the one let's see, which one did I circle? And I said, "Ah," because I loved it. Um, ooh, that was a good one. Sorry, guys. Everyone, please, you're gonna get this and read along. So make sure I'm gonna put the when we go to a commercial, I'm gonna put the link in there so you could buy it. But if you go on Amazon, guys, just search Jessica Galey piece by piece and it will pop up there. And support if you can. If you could, it's definitely worth the money. It's not that much. Get it and support as well because we creatives, we need the support. So and you won't be sorry that you got it. I love this a bunch of them. Stillness asked me, I like that. Stillness asked me to meet myself again. Um, but I already said I wasn't addicted to feeling good. Wait, hold on. Sorry, guys. We're reflecting here. I don't like to have dead air, but oh, um, I like this was one of the reflections, the thing when you have chosen something healthier but feel worse immediately after. Because you said, as we were talking about, it's almost like it's an addiction. Because
Yeah.
stopping drugs, stopping drinking is um good for you, but you're like, you don't feel good right
Yeah.
away. Same thing with love, right? Or relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Yeah. Again, the trauma bond. Oh, how about like the nervous system? Because I feel like, it's you
Oh,
maybe probably know more about this than I do. I mean, I know a bit, obviously, but the nervous system really is it's a physical thing because you have these memories. So you'll hear someone say and you have like literally a physical reaction. So for
yeah.
other people in here who might not even know anything about their nervous system and how important it is, any thoughts on that?
So there's a parasympathetic and a sympathetic nervous system. Um, I know nervous system stuff is like so huge because it's how you respond or react. It's how you carry yourself. There's a book that's called "The Body Keeps Score," I think it is, and that teaches you a lot about it. But it's like I'm still working on healing my nervous system from
Mhm.
that. Like it's been 4 years. I'm still. It's a lot of work. You could be an anxious attacher, an avoidant attacher, a dismissive avoidant. There's so many. And then it's a wild ride. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain it really, but
That's okay.
it's
That's okay.
intense.
But it's just you're right because there it is, and maybe people do. I'm just when I say people in general, me and myself, like you don't really realize how much like you're when they say your brain and that it's very complicated, obviously, but we're our own worst enemies, man. Like it's just so bad. Like
Yeah,
self love, like literally, I talk about it in my album a lot. It's literally you're battling yourself the whole time. The whole time, it's like yes, the angel, the devil, but the as you said, the nervous system that it is a physical thing. And you feel it like and when you get like you said the patterns and everything, when you're attached to this feeling, it's almost like when you're away from it, it doesn't feel right. Like you said, you in your book, you said about you're attached to this chaos. The chaos, the excitement, and because you just have been doing it so long, and maybe you just never met right? You never learned what actual healthy love is, and I think a lot of people don't know,
yeah. Yeah, so
right?
that's another thing too, like with your nervous system. I noticed when I started to try and get back out there and be in relationships, my nervous system made me feel like I was being suffocated inside. Like I could not do it. I could not be with anybody for longer than a week because my nervous system would make me feel like I was being suffocated. It was throwing off alarms like danger, danger. We don't want this. And so I had to learn to heal that. And it's still really tough, but I've learned to just talk to myself and talk myself out of it and be like, it's okay. This is healthy for you. But that's because I've also like learned what is healthy. If you don't know what's healthy and what's not healthy, then you're going to get really confused with the nervous system stuff and the butterflies that everybody says are good
Right.
things. And
Right.
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, and because you hear like I said, maybe I could try to pull it up, it's just on Instagram, it was just about real love, I mean, I'll just paraphrase what it was, just like, a nice reel with like, oh, like music but it was this, like, guy saying, real love isn't just vacations going together and taking pictures and stuff. It was like the people who will stay there really they're in the emergency with you in emergency room with you at 3 a.m. or they are there when you're going through hell. Like that, people who stick with you when you're at your worst, you
Yeah.
know. But obviously, like that's true love. Like because there's and friends, this applies to friends too. They're called the fair weather friends or the sunshine. Everyone could be there when the sun's shining. You know what I mean? But real love is those people who will stick with you when you are your ugliest self because they really see you and and that's very rare. It's rare. And it brings me to something else. I think, and I'll just be honest, like, you know how the culture is. It's like with men and women, it's like even I think back, like, oh, by date 3, I should kiss him. Oh, I better put out by day 5 or they're gonna be gone. I mean,
I
I was
hate that.
you know what I mean? For a long time, like when I was younger, you'd think you have to like hurry up and have sex with them or they're not gonna like you. But now I think, right, based on your book and what I've maybe seen some of your posts, like you're almost for me too, this is how I felt, and that goes to self-worth. Like, it was like, I better, like, or they're not gonna call me, or they're not gonna, like, you almost feel like forced so quick, and they don't get to know you. Like, and that's like our culture, I think that's like, "Oh, you better do," and you
Yeah.
don't get the time for them to really get to know you, right? Especially with women, I think.
Hmm.
Have you had that experience where you felt like you have to, I mean, back in the day, like, it's like, you just feel like you have to hurt, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, I mean, when I was doing drugs and drinking, I didn't give a shit about
right.
nobody or nothing. I was partying, I was kissing people. I was nuts, And
Right,
coming
yeah.
out of that and trying to like actually date and build something with somebody, I have a lot of trauma still around like my body and sex and all those things. So that has always been really hard for me. And it was never hard for me when I was drinking.
Right.
So getting over that and then also having the pressure of like, oh gosh, like this is when we're supposed to sleep together or this is when we're supposed to like start being intimate
Right.
made me want to like puke because I'm like, I don't really know them and I'm gonna share like my sacredness with them though,
I
because
know, I'm not laughing because I, like, you know what? I felt the same way. You're just like, we have a lot in common because I was, like, yeah, when, especially when you, like, same thing when you're drinking and you're, "Oh, this is just," I lived in LA, I mean, this is a whole other, like, ugh, and you could get yourself in really bad situations because you constantly felt, "Oh, like, you better, like, play, this is what everyone does," and I remember thinking about sex too. I was like, Everyone's just having sex," and I'm just like, "I'm just not, I don't want, like, not really that interested if I don't know you that good," like, I was and it's just, but you feel like, "Are you an adult? Go ahead." Like, "Oh, it's day 2." I'm just like, they don't even know my last name, you know?
yeah, and then you got people like calling you a prude or a tease or like whatever, and that doesn't help your self-esteem at all because you're like, I just like respect myself. Like, is that so?
Right. Yes. And I think that is the thing that, it takes maybe, like, for me, like I said, it was different in LA, and, like, what it came down to is, then leave. You're not getting it, like, whatever. Then if you don't like me, then leave. But we don't say that. I mean, I didn't, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? It's just like, "Oh, well, I guess I'm I guess if," you
Yeah.
know? But now you could say, "Well, screw you. Bye." Because
Oh,
if you love me, you
it's
will wait. Why, right? Right? If
uh,
that's all you want, there's plenty of other people, I'm sure, who will do that. But, it's like, it is. And I remember, oh my God, I had this memory, Jess. Literally one of the first songs I met. I should try to find it. I don't even know if I have it. Oh my God. It sounds cheesy, right? But it applies now. I swear it was like in 20 years ago. One of my first songs I ever wrote. It was called, I haven't thought about it till now. It's called Friends First. And it was like, I just remember it was like, "Whatever happened to being friends first? Whatever happened to taking your time?" Like, it was, now listening back, I should probably try to find it. But I
yeah.
just remember thinking that because we're conditioned in this world that it's like, and alcohol, oh, that, and it's just so shallow and so superficial. I mean, and there are a lot, sorry, there's a lot of superficial, shallow people. I mean, you're like, we're less, I think, more in the minority. Like, of, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, blessing and a curse, right? To be deep. It's like, no, it's not gonna fly. I don't really care. Like, same thing with materials. Like, yeah, I need money and you want it, but just don't care. It's like, do you have a soul? Do you have a heart? Do you have depth?
Depth, that's huge. Yeah. Are
And
you
there's nothing.
self-aware enough to like talk about your problems and communicate with me and tell me like why you did what you did so we can work through it? Yeah.
Right. Well, emotional maturity.
Yeah.
Right? But that, I mean,
Self-aware.
something like that, right? But yeah, but you said just some, and that's hard. I mean, it's hard with guys because the guy, not all. I found a good one finally. That was, but again, it was literally the biggest thing about, I finally found like a good one, but it was at the point, literally, before I met Dan. It was a while later. But I had the breaking point where I was in these really bad the first one, like, string of them, bad. Again, or was it all their fault? I kept picking these people. Like, well, it was like one alcoholic. Then someone tried to set my yard on fire, and then this, and then eventually I was just like, I'm done. Like,
Mhm.
screw this. I don't want it anymore. I want to be alone. Like, it took to that point where I was like, no, this has to be, because I was weak, I guess. But it was weird because I liked being alone. I'm always been kind of independent and like, I get bored with people. I'm like, if you're going to be boring, I just have other stuff to do,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
So I was independent, but at the same time, you want to be kind of with, you want like, so,
Yeah.
but I found myself in all these bad relationships, but it was really like, that's why I think I asked you before, was it like one final thing that you, after pattern, years of drinking, where you finally just did one thing happen, or you just wake up with like, I'm sick of
Well,
this, or was
I
something really bad happen? Like someone tried to set
had
your yard on
nothing anymore. I mean, like, I didn't have my daughter. I didn't have a house. My car got impounded, and that's where I was living. I had no money to eat. I was starving. I had no money for any more drugs. I had, I think, 4 miles of gas left in my gas tank, and it was the middle of winter. It was freezing. And I'm like, I'm not going to survive if I keep going like this. So, with my 4 mile gas tank, I drove to T-Pels, and they had been trying to get me into rehab for a long time, and I would never go. I always said I could do it myself, but I had no other options at this point. Like, I was starving, I was cold, I was withdrawing so bad. I just needed, that was it, you know? So I walked in there and they got me into a detox that night. And yeah, that was great. It was like one of the coolest experiences of my life. I learned so much about myself.
Aw.
I actually gained weight and I met other women, and it was beautiful.
Aw. Oh my gosh. What an inspiring story. Really, you're an inspiration. No, I'm saying I love it. I love that this happened. But like I said, the darkest, the mistakes, whatever you like, what are any guilt or anything like that, the darkest, I always said that some of the darkest, um, obviously the darkest things that happen are the biggest revelations. And sometimes you look back and you say, I'm grateful from that because I learned so much and now I am who I am because of that. Because you could look back, like I'm grateful for, I mean, I went through at the time, you're like, oh my God, why am I going through this? But then when you look back later, even when I look at Hollywood and I didn't make it back then and this and that, and I'm like, there's a lot to it. But even now I'm like 40 and I'm still trying to do, not trying, I am doing music. But I could it's what way do you look at it? Oh my God, I will like but I'm like, "No, I lived through that. I'm glad and my music is better than ever now, I feel to me, and I'm proud of it, but I'm grateful for these things that happen because I like who I am now. Same thing, like, but it wouldn't be that. You wouldn't be who you were if you weren't that girl puking in the car, drunk, like, you wouldn't be probably, like, here with the book like, who you are today. So,
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Let's take a little break. We're gonna play, a commercial. And then we'll talk a little bit more and we'll see. I want to know if you have any I have a couple more questions, definitely. If you could stick around for a little bit longer, it's up
Yeah.
to you. You have a little bit more time? Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Let's take a little, let's see. Producer, that's me. Okay. I'm going to play a commercial or two and then we will be back more with Jessica and we'll see if there's any more, um, comments in the chat room. We'll look at them when I get back. See if, and you guys, if you have any questions, write some questions in the chat room. Please give us some questions. There's a couple comments there, but any questions you have her here now while you have her, please give us some questions. Okay, let's do a little commercial here. We will be right back. You guys, you are watching Hollis-tics, and I'm your host, Hollis Mahoney, here with Jessica Galey, the author of Piece by Piece. So go get it, and I'm going to pull up that link and put it again in the chat room for anyone watching. You could click on it, or you could just search on Amazon. But sometimes we got to tell them exactly where to click, right? Okay, here we go. We will be right back. Are you enjoying the podcast? If you'd like to support what I'm building, you can buy me a coffee. Every bit of support helps me keep this podcast going and release my music independently. You can leave a one-time tip or become a member for a few dollars a month and unlock exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage you won't find anywhere else. Just visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis Mahady or scan the code you see on the screen. Oh, another commercial. Oh, I forgot which one I'm going to put there. Download your free copy of The Reconnection Movement today. Just head over to my website, www.hollismahady.com. Go to the podcast sections, scroll to the bottom of the page, and enter your email to get your free copy instantly. Now more than ever, it's important that we reconnect and support real human creators and real people. And because I have to, I just say I have to tinkle. I'll be right back. But we'll play. Do you know who Dr. Wayne is?
I'm not sure.
You would like him. I love him. I play this clip sometimes, and it's a good bathroom because it's a minute and 55 seconds. But he's one of the books I read so long ago that during when I was living in LA, and it was just a lot about the stuff we're talking about, self-help and manifestation and all that. But he was one of my influences. You know how you have certain people that you're like you found and you're like, oh, they really helped me through that. So if yeah, you would like him after you could Google him, but he's passed away since. Passed away. I loved him, Dr. Wayne. But this is him. So I'm going to play that real quick and I'll be right back. Here we go.
The next principle I call don't die with your music still in you. And who better to quote than Thoreau right here in Concord when he talked about some of us hear a different drummer and we must march to the music that we hear. But all of you, everybody watching, everybody here in this beautiful parish, all of you have some music playing. And all of you have a heroic mission. There's no accidents in this universe. We all show up here with a purpose. There's an intelligence that is a part of everything and everyone, and all of us are connected to it. And too many of us are afraid to listen to that music and march to it. You out there, I know you have a book you wanted to write. I know there's a composition you wanted to compose. I know there's a song you want to sing someplace. Maybe you want to raise horses out in Montana. Or maybe you want to open up an ice cream shop on Cape Cod. Who knows what it may be. Maybe you just want to travel and see the world. Maybe you want to go into a relationship with someone but you've been afraid to, but your heart says it's the right thing to do. All of us feel something. And in Leo Tolstoy's famous novel, The Death of Ivan Ilyich, he asks this question that would be terrifying to me. He says, as he has his accountant from Moscow lying on his deathbed, contemplating the horror of this question, what if my whole life has been wrong? I've known what my music is. It's playing right now.
There you go. Wait, let's see. Hopefully Jess is still there. She is. Okay, ready? We're gonna bring her back up. There we go. So you see why I like that guy? I mean, and he talked about the music at the end, of course, but it goes to anything, you know. He was always inspiring to me. You like him, you can check him out. But when we were good, we have a couple questions here. You would take a couple questions, Jess?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is just a comment, but this is someone who said solitude is sacred. I agree, right? Now, and I actually have a song called Solitude, maybe on my second album, but it was a long time ago I wrote it. But now you could appreciate it more, right?
Yeah.
Solace in solitude. That's what Aaron says. Hi, Aaron. Aaron's a good friend of the show. I love Aaron. Okay, so Michael has a question here, and he asks, what was the hardest part of learning to love yourself before others?
The hardest part, I think, the realization that, like, to love yourself, you have to be selfish. And being selfish, like that word alone just seems wrong, you know, like, but in AA, we learn that we need to be selfish in order to recover. We need to put our sobriety first. So that helped me a lot to learn self-love needs to come first.
Yes. I love that. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, I have okay, yes. So we're gonna go on to the yes, it's very true. I love that. Shannon says, or White Noise says, nice, I will buy this book. Very inspiring. Good. Yes, everyone should buy it. Definitely. I know I saw another question here. Oh, here we go. Jim Tim asks, how do you deal with people who with double standards? I'm not sure I understand. Jim, are you still there? Maybe he means double standards of, I don't really know. Do you understand?
Like double standards in relationships, like, well, you need to heal, but I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. For sure. But if you're still there, Jim, elaborate. Let us know. So I have some questions. I have a question. what do you think? Well, let's see. What's next? Do you think you're going to be maybe writing a part 2 or another book, or
So
where are
yeah,
you going to go from here? Because you're just, I feel like you're just getting started. This is just tip of the
yeah,
iceberg, really.
yeah. So I definitely do want to write another book, and I have been working on it, but it's going to be long because it's going to be my entire life story,
Yeah,
and there are things that I need to relive while I write them, and that's really hard. And I also, I guess, still have fear of like people in my life reading about themselves and there being backlash from that. So I thought maybe I could put out something with like fake characters, no names, obviously. But yeah, it is in the works, but I think it's going to be a while.
yeah, yeah. Something where, like you said, I like that with the characters. So it's ba- not loosely fiction. What is it like? Based on reality or loosely?
Yeah.
You know? What was I gonna ask? I know I had another question. Oh, your Piece by Piece Foundation. So, can you talk a little bit more about that? And I know you kinda mentioned it, but, like, tell me a little bit more about that. Was that inspired right when you got out of rehab, or was it during that, or some of those women you met, those people, like, part of it, or a little bit more about that?
So I don't know. I was always interested heavily in psychology and helping people. And um, that was always my dream to open a nonprofit and to help women and make safe houses and a place where everybody
Yeah,
could feel safe and get help and to kind of bridge the gap where other places don't help or only help with so much, like you have to be working 20 hours a week or you have to do this or have to do that. Um, and then I don't know, one day I just decided like I'm just going to do it because I started my junk removal business. And with that, I had the idea for a furniture store, which I actually just opened. Um, but before that, piece by piece kind of came from the furniture because I was getting all of this furniture that people didn't want anymore. And, they thought that it was old and crappy and beat up. I would get it and I would sell it to somebody who would love it, or I would do a little bit to it, repaint it, resand it, whatever. And I just kind of put it together like that's us, like somebody may not love us anymore, but
yeah,
we find somebody else who does.
yeah,
And when you're putting a piece of furniture together and talking and thinking and learning about how you put yourself together after all these years,
yeah. Aw,
that's where piece by piece came from because I wanted to build something where women could learn how to refurbish furniture while also refurbishing themselves.
yeah. Aw, that's beautiful. I love that. That reminds me of that saying, one person's trash is another one's treasure,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Mhm.
it's so true, and it's like, and I love that you said, you know, like, everyone's starting over. You need people who are starting over. It is piece by piece, like, people moving and, especially in these relationships. And what I was gonna say, another question, and it must be hard too. I mean, I know it is. Like when you hear, even now, right? If you hear someone that you see yourself in them, you were like, "Oh gosh, I know. I've been there." It's probably hard because you wanna save everybody, right? I mean,
True.
you d that, and then I've had that problem where it's not really applied to this as women in it, but I always wanted to, like, save the man, like, oh, or see their potential. Oh, like, 'cause we would be
Yeah.
attracted, right, to like, I was always attracted to, when I was with a drug addict, when I was with, like, alcoholics, and I would always be, like, trying to
Mhm.
help them. So where do
You
you
know,
guys
I
did you
heard
feel
something that said you can't go from the potential that you see in somebody because the potential that you see is only what you would do with it
Yeah,
if you were them and you're not them.
yeah.
That
It's
really like shifted everything.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, because you hear that, and I still will hear people say that, and because I used to be me, I would be like, "Oh, but they have so much potential." I would see them, but they didn't see themselves that way, but that took s
Mhm.
I wasted so many years of my life probably like, "Oh, they have it, like, or if they just did this," but, they're not, and I mean, after a while, you're just like, you're done saving people. Now,
Yeah.
again, maybe I kinda got off the subject because it doesn't really apply, but my point is, like, we see there's a difference between that's self-love too. It's like saying, "Wait, you gotta work on your issues. I'm not saving you." Because a lot of people, enabling, right? That's a big thing too. I had that, especially with like people who are on drugs and stuff. Like you would enable their behavior. I mean, this goes deep, right? We're going in another direction. But Jess, another Jess in the room here. This is Jessica Wopinski. She says, "I love the title of the book. I can't wait to read it." Yes, Jess, it's awesome. It's a great book. We've all been here. Like maybe not everyone. Like some people don't have bad relationships. I don't know. They're just not messed up.
Yeah.
I'll look at people and I'll be like, like I'm sure too, like people in high school, like, oh, they married their high school sweetheart. They have like 10 kids and their life is like how did they escape what
Yeah.
this was our route? Right?
I
Where
wish.
I guess, like I don't know. Man, I had so many bad ones. But again, looking back, I'm like, well, that was me. That was my choice, I guess. Aaron asked, record it as an audiobook.
Yeah, I have been planning on doing that.
Yeah. You should definitely do that. Well, if
Yeah.
you didn't need any help with microphones, let me know. I know how to do something.
I would, yes.
Yes. You should definitely do that because your voice is soothing and sometimes people just want to listen to it as well.
Is it? I hate it.
No.
I hear
No.
myself back and I'm like, do I really sound like that?
You sound great. We're our own worst critics. Don't worry. My guest the other night was on that. He's like, oh, I don't know. No, you sound great. But there you go. That's self-love, right? You have to love. Hey, God.
Yeah.
Yes. But but what's okay, so here we'll wrap it up in a couple minutes here. But what would you give advice for anyone watching it right now who may be in that really horrible relationship or they're in a place where they don't know what to do? What would even piece by piece, what would be maybe your advice to them? Like, what's the first step for someone that's so overwhelming? There's a mountain ahead. Don't look at that. What would be maybe your first piece?
You just got to do it. I spent so long trying to plan when to leave. And like, I was like, I have to save enough money. I have to do this. I have to figure this out. And then one day I just had an epiphany and I was like, I just need to go or I'm never going to get out.
Yeah.
And I did. And it was the scariest freaking thing in my life. Driving away, knowing I was never going to come back, taking like 5 shirts and just what the baby needed, and knowing that that was it. And but I mean, it was the best thing because I was never going to talk myself into, I was never going to have enough money. I was never going to come to a place where I had it planned enough,
Right.
You just got to rip the Band-Aid off and do it. And it's hard. It's really hard, but
Yeah.
it's the best way.
Yeah. Because you can't wait till you're ready. Because especially in such dangerous ones too, you don't want to. It could be too late. Like then one day later, it could be too late.
Yeah,
Right?
you have to learn to love yourself more than the fear.
Yeah. 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 Aw. Well, this is amazing. Let's see any last questions or any. Let's see. Jess says I say that all the time about myself. What about your voice? Everybody, we're all hard, and then she has a beautiful voice too. You guys, we have to learn to love our voices as well. See, I'm the opposite. I like to watch myself back. I'm like, oh, okay. Just kidding. Well, I don't do it anymore. But at first, when I was starting the podcast, I would watch everything because I'm like, oh, the audio's not playing during that. And Dan would be like, because some of the shows were like 2 hours, but I'm like, it's research. I have to see how I can prove it. But what does Jess says? Those moments solidify that we are survivors. Yes, and I think that's to be proud of yourself and we are survivors. And I mean, men too. I mean, there's guys who are in horrible relationships and stuff too. It's not just one way, but it's usually more the other story. You know what I mean? But I think just survivors at life to get this far. I mean, it's like a video game. I always say like, oh,
Yeah,
there's
we're
always things
in
flying at you.
Sims.
Was that?
We're in Sims.
I never played that. I heard of that though. That's a video game?
No, I don't know. It was something that was around when I was a kid. Everybody played it.
Well, you're younger.
Characters and life and all the things. Just basically like our lives.
Yeah. Like I think like Mario Brothers. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Now I really feel old. Oh, okay. When they have the little hammers flying at you, and then you're ducking, and then the thing's flying, and then you get like it's like, oh my gosh! And then so back to piece by piece. It's like, why even learn, because there's certain things you're never going to be able to avoid. This is life. This is a 3D. This is Earth, job, sickness, death, this, that. But then it's like, why even go why even look for trouble? like you said, if you could figure out peace and don't add to it, like we say, you're not addicted to drama anymore. You're not so yeah. Jess, you're amazing. Wait, hold on. Jess says, like Donkey Kong with barrels knocking us down. Yeah, it's always something, right? And then Sam says, Jess, you're amazing. I'm so proud of you.
No.
And we have a question here. VOPUSA Radio says, has she done any type of speaking events for victims resources? And no, but maybe you, what would that, what would that be? How has she done any?
So, okay, I'll talk about something that I was planning to put together soon. And it's fear holding me back, but I wanted to do a workshop for women where we have survivors stand up and share their stories and have a licensed professional share about, what went on in our brains, how to heal, like a nervous system reset workshop. But I'm terrified. I'm terrified to do public speaking. I'm terrified to get up there and introduce myself. I'm even this was a reach. This was me stepping out of my comfort zone. So I'm very grateful.
Well, you're doing fabulous. See, you did it. You've done it. We're getting to the end. Don't worry. No, but you did so good. Yeah. But I love you because you know what? A lot of people will not step out of their comfort zone. And that's when there's no growth out of the comfort zone. So hey, we know, where would be a good place to do that? Maybe Inner Harmony Wellness. They have workshops and stuff. That's in Pennsylvania. That's where. So if you need a place, maybe, but they have stuff like that. But you would do it. But you said it's just, you could do it.
It's it's on the horizon somewhere.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's coming. You got time. But I always say, you gotta do it soon. How long has she been sober, aka on her path now? Yeah. How are you sober or no drinking?
Almost 3 years, no drugs. Drinking was a lot harder to put down because it's so much more socially acceptable.
Yeah.
And I would convince myself that I could just have a few.
Yeah.
So I think drinking is almost a year no drinking.
Aw.
3
Good
years
for
no
you.
drinking almost. Yeah.
Good for you, Jess. 'Cause I know, it's not easy. And yeah, I'm proud of you. That's awesome. And you said in the book too, I don't want to give it all away, guys. You got to go buy it. But you did say, if you do, right, I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but you can fall back, but don't be so hard on yourself because it's not piece by piece. I mean, what do you feel like that? Do you beat yourself up if you fall back or?
Eventually I learned to not because every time I fell back, yeah, it sucked, but I learned something so important for my journey.
Yeah.
And it wasn't catastrophic.
Yeah.
It didn't ruin me. Yeah, I fell back, but maybe I needed to fall back to see what I learned, that was current, that being back there. You know what I mean?
That was still there because it's very tricky. There's layers. There's different. There's things that we don't know, or it's what is that trigger that still I thought I was over that, and then this happens to, or whatever. And I think you said, I could be wrong, but and then you kind of recover or bounce back a little faster than last time. So maybe it would have taken oh my God, I went on this binge forever, and now maybe it's a little shorter, and then eventually you don't maybe want to do it anymore as much.
Yeah.
So if you could, like a rubber band, right? Sometimes you go a little further this time. That's the growth, right? Because we're all human. I mean, people like you say, especially with drinking and stuff. I know my type of personality. That's why I don't like to have it around. I used to have maybe then O'Doul's, the non-alcoholic, but I was one of those just I would drink to get drunk. It was not like you said, I just have a couple drinks. I would see people like that. I don't know. It wasn't good for me. I reacted weird to it. I would have one drink and I want more, and then so me, I'm at all or nothing. I was never really the good at that moderation. It was just I don't know. People's different personalities. I think a lot of people have that, she's now, yes, there you go. Dance, VOPUSA Radio says she's now a pro at public speaking. You're live all over the world. You know what? We're broadcasting, everybody, audio definitely audio. You're being heard in Russia right now, believe it or not. You're being heard in all around the world because we are on VOPUSAradio.com and we're on Rumble and all the other places, not Facebook, but I only show a couple people right now because of my stupid account. But yes, she's a pro now. And when is she going to come to Ohio? He wants to know. I would like to know that too. You're going to come out here for a visit.
I always love a road trip.
Yes. Well, you're welcome anytime. We'll talk off air about that. But yes, please, we get together in person. And then here's one more comment here. Aaron says, once you begin speaking from your heart, you win hearts and minds by sharing that passion you have and stir the fire of compassion in others. I love that, Aaron.
That's deep.
Yeah. But it's true. You're not like, it's true. This is a hard freaking world, man. And it's like, they say, be the change you want to see. Right? I mean, piece by piece, right? Just you have to, and when people are jerks and negative, I mean, that's the worst because sometimes you want to be like, oh, I want to give back to you, but that's your test. Because there's not enough people. It's definitely a minority, I feel, of people who are like, okay, it's a cruel world, man. And people are, you've seen it. We've all seen it. The dog eat dog world. But that's what Hollis-tics is here. That's why I love to have you on as guests and people who are deeper and who people have some depth and understand what's really important in life. So, Jess says, are you in PA? Are you in PA? We can go together. Oh, because Jess is in PA as well.
Oh.
Yeah. This is Jess. She was my college roommate. And she's awesome. Yeah. Maybe I'll connect you guys. But yeah, she's in PA. And yeah, so when I come back, PA. But you guys all should come to Ohio. So
we can trade off.
Pennsylvania. Sorry, guys. I ran away from Pennsylvania, but I would come back as an exception to see you. But come out here, guys. It's a very cool place. But you guys, so with that said, any closing words or anything you want to say before we head off? Again, we can talk and talk. We're getting close to now almost 8:30. I mean, it's 8:17. But any closing words or let's plug your book again, obviously. Everybody in the chat room, everyone around the world listening, and I will replay this. I will be replaying this a lot. You could share it out. But make sure, again, let's say your book. Now, I did put the link in the chat room, guys. You guys see that? I'm gonna post it again. Right here. There we go. There's the link, guys, in the chat room. You could just click on that. It'll take you there. Again, you could just go right on Amazon if you lose that link and just search this. And let's see, one more comment. That was me. Yes. Okay, so we said the book. There it is, guys, right there. You want to go grab a copy of that. And if you're in PA, maybe Jessica could sign it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
cool. Actually, it's in the North Pocono Public Library now, which is pretty cool.
Oh, really? Wow. So people could go and rent it? Take it out? Wow. That is so cool. People go to libraries. Good. I'm glad there's still some libraries around.
Yeah.
Aw, that's amazing. Good. Okay, wait. I said thank you. All right. So before you go, hopefully one day you'll come back on again. If your next project you're talking about or anything, I would love to get we're gonna get it. We've been talking about forever as a hotline, like a number where people could call in.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so we could do something. But will you come back on again sometime?
Yeah, of course.
I'd love to have you back on. Okay, good. So it's not, we're just saying our fond farewell words, not goodbye forever. I hate goodbyes. Right. But anything you want to leave the audience, anything else you want to tell or that you haven't told, or any final closing words before we say goodbye?
Just remember that self-love always begins with one small act.
Yeah. Aw, that's beautiful. And piece by piece.
Yeah.
Aw. Well, thank you so much. Again, there she is, ladies and gentlemen. That is Jessica. That is her book. And it was, let me get the applause on. Hold on. I know, it's to be more seamless here. Thank you so much for coming on, for your time, for your wisdom.
Thank you.
I'm proud of, another one. Yeah. For all the help that you're doing, putting this book in the world. You're helping a lot of people already. And I'm going to do my best to get this out there as far as we can. We'll keep playing it. We'll keep playing it over and over again. So I'm proud of you and thank you again for coming on. It was so awesome to have you as a guest.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Yes, it was my pleasure. And we'll see you again.
All right.
All right. We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right. Bye, Jess. Okay, I'm gonna boot you out. Here,
All right.
I'm new at this still. You're only my second guest. Wait, booting her out. No, she's gonna go. Okay, ready? I'll
Yep.
see you soon. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there she is. I was looking forward to this. We did it. We did it. You are a force for good. Yes. She sure is. Let's pull my background back here. So that was great. Okay, hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm Hollis. There we go. Yeah, so that was a great interview. We had so much fun. Well, we're getting into deep things, and hopefully it was educational or was helpful. Any questions for me about that? Anything? Anybody? Anybody at all? I feel like my head looks small. Oh, hello. No, but this was awesome. And it is. I like it that I could read it again. And I mean, because it's not one of those huge books where like, oh, but it's just like, it's really, really nice. And I love it. It's going to be on my shelf. And how many people could say that an author that they like and respect, they got to come on their show on Hollis-tics here? Because that's what we do, guys. We have people doing good things in the world, stories, real people, real experiences, not all this, surface level crap that we hear on a daily basis everywhere. Oh, like it's for people who are talking about deep things. There you go, Aaron. You're right. Deep things are important. And these are the conversations, like that's why I like Hollis-tics in my show and stuff, because it's just, like I said, I'm a weirdo, and at least for me, I do like depth. I get bored with shallow. I mean, I know when you go out and stuff, you're not just going to strike up with the conversation. Say, hey, so have you been working on yourself lately? Are you self-aware? Do you believe in God? Are there aliens? Are there? Oh, we don't really say that, right? It's not. But so it's more like, hey, what's up? How are you? I'm good, thank you. Thanks. Don't really want to know how good. I always say that, right? When someone's like, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, oh, good, thanks. You know what I mean? Do you really want to know? Do you really want to know how I'm doing? Because rarely, these are not things you're going to talk about all the time, but people have these kind of questions, and not just about relationships. I think, sometimes you want to have some depth and some human deep things, because life is tough, and we are, I try not to curse, screwed up beings sometimes. I mean, my mind, like we are our own worst enemies. We are, and fear. I always talk about that, right? Fear's a big one. But I'm so proud of her. Yes. Aaron says, I'm glad we have the opportunity to talk about it here. Yes. And that's why any questions or anything, not like, again, I'm not saying I'm like, oh, but I'm willing to, like, I'm an expert on it all, but I will say, especially on this subject with self, like taking a look at yourself, because a lot of people don't really care, but like some people want to be a better version of yourself, because you don't want to suffer, because you're like, why are my actions leading to my suffering? Because it's a kid, we can blame everybody else, but at the end of the day, a lot of times it comes back to our own selves and the decisions we made, and our bad self-talk or our bad self-sabotaging and all that stuff, because you want to have a happy life and you want to be manifesting good things, but we are messed up people. And again, I'm not talking to everyone, but I know for me and a lot of like deeper people, they think about it, and because it's easy to blame everyone. And that brings me actually to Monday, because Monday we have another wonderful guest. And good news, guys, I was able to, on my new Facebook account, find him and get his email and stuff. So, because I was worried about that, because I made this all happen through Facebook Messenger, and then I wasn't able to get on. I'm like, oh God, is he going to be able to? Will he find my message, because I wasn't his friend anymore and I had to add him? But long story short, yeah, so we're gonna have another interesting self-reflective person here on Monday. And let me grab the thingy that I made that is right here. His name is Jason, and he has a similar story. I mean, the other side, I forgot to tell Jessica about it. I'll message her. Maybe she's still watching. But you'll be interested. You should definitely tune into this one. Now, this is another perspective of a guy who admits he used to be a narcissist, all this stuff, and because he was on a podcast talking about it. I mean, he'll tell the story, but this is him, and he grew up with addiction. He grew up with I won't say too much because he's going to tell the story, but you'll hear it. Here we go. Monday, May 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Hollis-tics. Our guest, Jason Foresh, shares a powerful story of survival, redemption, and rebuilding from the ground up. From a childhood marked by abuse and years lost in addiction and self-destruction, to hitting rock bottom more than once, to finding sobriety, faith, and a completely new life. Today, he is a man of God, entrepreneur, fiance, and father, on a mission to break generational cycles and prove that no matter how far you've fallen, you can rise again. Through sharing his story, Jason hopes to inspire and empower others who may feel like there's no way out. This is a conversation about pain, purpose, and the kind of transformation that changes everything. Don't miss it. Monday, May 11th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, Rumble, and of course on Voice of the People U.S.A. Radio and Television Network. There we go, and we're back. So these are good guests, back to back. I mean, tomorrow I'm going to the studio. I'm going to hopefully be back by 7 to do our TGI Friday show. That's where it's, very lighthearted and we kind of just forget about the world. It's not too heavy. We don't talk about all these crazy things. You guys like my vest? Huh. It's new. Actually, it's not new. I've had it for a long time, but I've only wore it once. It still feels new. Vests. I talk about vests. I don't really see the point of them. They can make my arms cold. But yeah, no, it's going to be good. And actually it will pair well with this because it's the other perspective. And he sent me a podcast that he was on. Maybe I'll share it on Monday if he doesn't mind. I'm sure it's out there. So, but and he was talking about that he was a narcissist and how he treated his partner and all this stuff and how he realized it and how he changed now. And he's a spiritual relationship. He's found God and everything like that. And he really turned his life around, but now it's the other point of view. And I think that's interesting because as we said, and Jess said earlier too, it takes self-awareness and some people never get to that point. Some people never really recognize maybe they're part of the problem. So that's what we talk about here, just different, things like that. So it's going to be interesting to have that guest. And so that's coming up Monday. That's Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That is is that the 11th? 7th, 8th? Yes, May 11th that'll be. And oh yes, I just thought it's almost 8:30 because we have Politishock coming up at 9 o'clock. So I will be ending maybe in a few minutes here. But yeah, what else? And so yeah, nothing too interesting. Again, you guys, I'll talk a little bit about my release coming up. My song covers. The time is counting down. It's my first release off the album. And Jess, you will like this one as well. This one is called Covers. And this is my first single coming out May 15th, which is next Friday. It will be available on all platforms, including Spotify. Oh, and I have to talk to you guys about Chris sent me something and I didn't even get a chance to respond to him yet. Chris, as in Must Kill Chris, he was on the show Monday. And he sent me something very annoying. Not he was annoying. What he sent me was like disturbing a little bit and annoying. It was about Spotify. Let me see if I could try to find it. Because I didn't have a chance to write to him. Hold on, it's on my other account. I'll find it in a second. But it's not like that bad, but it's just like, it's about what we're talking about, robots and Spotify and humans and real music. But let me play Covers and I'll try to find that. Here we go. This is coming out next Friday. My single Covers. It's been like 20 years in the making. Here it is finally, May 15th. Here we go. Life is a gift, this game we play. Song, but because I made through the effort of making all these, I'll play this one. Don't have to face the shame. Don't have to feel this pain. It's where I wanna stay. Wanna live the summers. Don't have to face the shame. Don't have to feel this pain. It's where I wanna stay. So there you go, guys. I'm still trying to figure out this pre-save link that I got. And of all freaking times, I'm so annoyed with stupid Facebook because of all times for it to just get totally locked out of it. And I mean, for now I gave up, but I'm gonna see if I could get a security key or there's any other way. But I have like 5,000 friends on Facebook. Not friends, it's people. But over the years, and I looked at it and it was like, oh my gosh, I had this since 2005. I think, I signed up for this account in 2005. So that's 21 years ago. I've had this account for 21 years. And it's friends from New York, it's friends from LA, it's friends from, when I say friends, I mean half of the people I don't know, because people add you and stuff. So, but at the same time, you're like, oh man. And I'm trying to put my music out and spread the word. But now of all times, I'm like, great. I have half of them, and I'm trying to add new friends. And of course, Facebook is being Facebook, and it's like, oh, you're adding too many at once. I mean, I'm only allowed to add like 10 a day now. And then I'm adding friends, people I know, and they're like, you don't seem to know this person. Try adding people you know. So I guess if you guys see this, go add me on Facebook. I mean, I've tried to find, everybody's important, but I tried to find the people I remembered and who actually support and are here. And so if I didn't grab you, go and look at, just type in Hollis Mahady, and it's a new picture of me in a striped shirt with a microphone. It's from my podcast with Chris. So it's not spam, and it wasn't hacked. The account wasn't hacked. It's just I'm locked out of it. Sucks. So annoying. Well, I found the thing I was talking about, Chris, but this will be more for another episode when we bring on our next musician and we could talk about it. But how asinine, is that the word? Chris said, have you seen this? Spotify now marks human artists with the check mark to say they are real humans, but only if you have so many listeners or followers. So people like us, which she means like me and him, will be left looking like we're not real, despite having things like music recorded and uploaded before AI and things like that. You end up not being popular enough to be considered human, so effectively labeled fake. Realize, yeah. So basically, yeah, it was like you have to, here was the thing. This was actually from key aspects of getting verified on Spotify. Now, I don't know if getting verified you have to pay. Probably. I mean, I don't know. I know on Instagram you have to pay to be verified on Instagram. I mean, one of them, I don't know, I think it's like $40 a month to get your check mark. I mean, I could be wrong with the number, but one is like $149. I mean, and then you could post links in your reels. And then one was like, the business one was like $500 a month. Oh yes, I'll crack that extra money out just so I could post links in my Instagram. I mean, like we talked about, it takes money to make money. But yeah, key aspects of verified by Spotify. The purpose is the initiative aims to fight AI-generated content farms and help listeners find real artists. What it looks like, a verified by Spotify text and green checkmark icon will appear next to artist names in search results and on their profile. Here's the verification criteria to show that you're a real human. To gain verification, artists must have a genuine active presence. This includes sustained listenership. Often this means at least 10,000 monthly active listeners over a consecutive 3-month period. And you have to have a follower count. We talked about that. Generally needing at least 1,000 followers and active, authentic engagement and compliance. Here's an idea. What if, they actually verified if people were real by, I don't know, maybe doing something that doesn't require you to have 10,000 listeners, or, maybe sending in a video or saying, hi, I'm a human, or, just something else. But the whole thing is just, well, we'll save that for another day. But I just thought I had to say that. Comments in the chat room. We need to have these conversations sometimes. Yes. I like that hook. That's fuming ridiculous. What? Right? Shannon, are you talking about the Spotify I just said? And Jess says, that's just crazy. And if you guys saw Chris's interview the other night, and it's replaying and it's up there if you want to go back and watch it if you missed it. But we talked about that a lot, like even on Instagram. Oh, we were joking. He doesn't even have 100 followers on Instagram. I'm saying how hard it is. For like a day, I had 502 followers. I joked about it. I'm like, I hit 500 followers. Well, but went back to 499 now. So someone decided to unfollow me. So I can't even say I have 500 anymore. But the point is, it's, you know what I mean? Oh, okay. So because it's all algorithm. And I think Chris even said, you can't even reach out to them because it's all algorithm based. So let's prove that we're not AI by having to, whatever. You think, okay, maybe you could definitely tell who's a real artist or not if they were maybe to just send a video in, do something, but there you have it. So we'll save that. So I got to plan some more guests. I have Mark Woodiette wants to be on the show because I reached out to him a while ago. He's the violin player that I played the one episode. He would love to come. I would love to have him come on and do an interview. And there's a couple other people. So we'll put it out there. Like I said, I'm open to everyone. Not everyone, but someone doing something who has something meaningful to say, or a project or a book or whatever they're working on, or music, art, or just wants to, talk about life stuff. I'm very open. But yes. So guys, with that, I guess I'm going to start to wrap up the night unless there's any other questions. I have to scratch my ear. Sorry. And I bleached my hair again because it was getting a little bit like yellow. So there you have it. Ah! Where's my sound effect's not working. But yeah, so good things are happening. Good things are happening. And spring is around the corner. It was nice today. So I hope everyone is doing good out there. Again, if you are on Facebook and they haven't received a request, please friend me. It's better if you could friend me because apparently I can't invite too many people at once. And let people know about my music if you would be so kind, if it comes up in the conversation, of course. I know this girl, Hollis, and she's a new song coming out, and she's not a robot. When I got some of my TikTok clothes, I got my dresses. I ordered a couple dresses are on the way. I got 2, and they are actually really nice, and a bathing suit. So things are cooking, guys. Things are going good. And I hope everyone else is doing good. Again, let me know how everyone is if you want, but if not, I will see you guys tomorrow. I am going to the studio tomorrow, and I ordered it. We got our iPad, so I'm going to be recording on that and trying to set up my little microphone. So I'm going to start singing. I'm thinking about singing on TikTok. So I'll let you know how that goes. And then if I am, I will invite you to the show, to the singing show. So we'll see. We'll see. I was watching this like TikTok voice competition. I told you TikTok's another beast. I'm still doing my research. But before we head out, Aaron has said we should share Chris's music with people we know who might like it and share it with others. Yes, definitely. I still have his I have Lions up here. I think I still have. The problem is sometimes I have to delete things to make space, so I don't have his picture. But I'll get it back up there. Yeah, it definitely. I said that too. It's just one of those things that there's so much tablet. Did I say iPad? Oh, we got a new tablet, and we got a tablet stand. So that's on its way. Getting all the necessities. We're gonna get the setup. But when is Aaron and Amy coming to Ohio? It's summer. It's getting there. It's been too long. Pressure is on. Pressure cooker. The pressure is on. Yes. Everyone's got to come to Ohio. We have an extra bedroom, guys, and we haven't had many visitors. Timothy has come to see us, and you guys are always welcome. What was I going to say? Oh, Aaron said we should share Chris's music with people we know who might like it and share with others. Yeah, that's the thing. And I mentioned this a lot, but you get so overwhelmed and you can't help everyone. I mean, like, we're all trying to, especially content creators, we're all trying to like get our stuff out there. So, I mean, like, again, if you find a couple people you like, whether it's an author or a musician or whatever, and you can't like pick maybe 4 or 5 people and say, okay, I'm going to really try to and then they help each other back. And maybe that's how, because like I said, navigating this whole new landscape and stuff, it's difficult. Especially when you go on Instagram and you're like, oh, now I only have 499 followers today. Oh, holy moly. The new Hollywood. Yes. Ohio's the new Hollywood. Who needs LA? It's burning. Okay, guys. So anyway, I guess we'll end it there. It's been a wonderful night. I want to say thank you again to Jessica Galey, right? I just had a real weird mind blank for coming on. But there she is. She was here tonight, guys. You saw her first. She's going to do, yes, Galey for a second. I had a weird brain. I don't like the F word. I'm not going to say the F word. I don't like that word. And I forgot her last name for a second because I know hers is her nickname. So Jessica. But thank you, Jessica. I don't know if you're still watching, but thank you again for coming on. You're going on and you're going to write lots of books and she's going to be having speaking appearances. It's going to happen. That girl is very powerful. She's a powerful woman. And we like powerful women who love themselves. Maga Durpiker is still there. Yes, come to Ohio. I am the happening turd out here. Yes, I always forget that. Oh, Joe, you're in Ohio. I want to see if Dan picks up on this. Oh, that might be an inside joke. turd. Ew, don't say the poo word. I'll say poo. Yes, Ohio's where it's at. It's in the middle there. It's in the middle. But yes, okay. So let me queue up again. Don't forget to tune in Monday night, and hopefully I will be here tomorrow. I don't want to promise a brand new episode because I have to go to the studio and Dan has some good things going on finally, so I might not be able to be back in front of the computer in time, but I will definitely, like I do, we send out a text and say brand new episode. So I'm hoping to do it tomorrow. So as long as I'm back home at that time. And I think I probably will be. So I will let you know tomorrow if it's a brand new episode. And if it's not, it will definitely be a brand new episode on Monday with Jason Forash coming to the show. Another hopefully enlightening and powerful conversation and meaningful one. So again, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I am Hollis Mahady. You've been watching Hollis-tics and up on Voice of the People U.S.A. Radio and Television Network. Tonight we have Politishock at 9:00 p.m. So if you're into that kind of stuff, you can check that out as well. All right, guys. Again, I will see you tomorrow, and I will definitely see you Monday with our next guest. Have a blessed evening, everyone. I love you all, and I appreciate you letting me into your living room or maybe your kitchen or wherever you're watching this. Thank you for being here with me and letting me share this with you. It's been a great time. All right, guys. I am Hollis-tics. I am Hollis Mahady. I am Hollis-tics. I'm all that stuff, and I will see you soon. Take care. Have a good night. Thank you for watching Hollis-tics, hosted by me, Hollis Mahady. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to share it with someone who might need it too. And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis Mahady. You can make a one-time donation or become a member for just a few dollars a month to get extra podcasts and exclusive behind-the-scenes content you won't find anywhere else. Or simply scan the code on the screen. Your support truly means the world to me and helps me continue creating independent content for you. If you like the music featured in this show, I license it through Epidemic Sound. You can head over to hollismahady.com, click on the podcast page, and use my link for a free trial. And don't forget to check out VOPUSARadio.com, where I host my music channel and am building a growing community of independent musicians. If you're interested in joining the network, just click Join Network and submit an application. Until next time, remember that you are loved and never alone. From human to human, big hugs. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy the outro video. I love this song.
Lights shining from the window late at night. I'm just watching someone else's life go by, wishing it was mine. Dreams, everybody has them at the start. Somewhere along the way they fall apart, and it makes it kinda hard to look up at the lights. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, everything is clear. When the lights go out, I could finally see. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I could finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror, when the lights go out, it's you looking back at me. Hope, try your best to hold on to the rope. We all have a reason to let go, and it's easier to do, but it's better if we don't.